Please help me to reach 500 subscribers. I didn't storm out. I didn't raise my voice or demand answers. I didn't even ask her to explain. When the truth slices that deeply, silence becomes louder than any argument. She lied. And in that instant I stopped searching for reasons. I left because staying would have required me to swallow something my heart refused to accept. I believed that was the final chapter. I was wrong. Because then the letter appeared. Creased, slightly torn, placed quietly at my doorstep, as if even regret didn't want to disturb the air. And in that moment, everything I thought I understood about us collapsed all over again. We had shared 4 years together. 4 years built on comfort. Shared keys. Private jokes no one else understood. Slow Sunday mornings where words weren't necessary. It wasn't explosive passion anymore. It was dependable, familiar, safe. At least that's what I told myself. Looking back now, I know exactly when things shifted. It was in her eyes, how they stopped resting on mine. In her voice, how sentences became incomplete, guarded. Like she was constantly holding something back. I noticed it, and I ignored it. Because when you love someone, you protect them, even from your own instincts. That's why the truth hurt the way it did. It didn't begin with something dramatic. Just a phone call I wasn't meant to hear. Her voice low, tense, trembling. Saying she couldn't continue. Saying she felt guilty. I shouldn't have listened. But I did. That night I asked her about it. She smiled. Blamed stress. Said I was imagining things. And I wanted, desperately, to believe her. The next morning I crossed a line I never thought I would. I checked her messages. Something I'd never done. Something I never wanted to become. And there it was. Another name. Another life. A place where I didn't exist. She hadn't crossed the physical boundary. But emotionally she was already gone. I stared at the screen numb. I didn't confront her. I didn't wait for her to come home. I grabbed my coat, my keys, and walked away. No explanation. No farewell. I left behind a life we built together, because she had already left the truth behind. Days turned into weeks. I found a new place. Tried to rebuild. Still, she lingered in the quiet moments. In pauses. In passing memories. In the sudden ache of realizing I no longer knew anything about her life. But I never reached out. Because she had lied. And that was the boundary I couldn't cross back over. Then one afternoon, rain-soaked and heavy, I returned home and saw it. A letter. No envelope. Just my name written in her handwriting, resting carefully by my door. I stood there frozen. Every part of me warned me not to read it. Not to let her back in, not even through ink and paper. But I opened it anyway. And what I read broke me in a way the lie never had. You probably hate me. I would hate me too. But before you erase me completely, please read this. Not because I deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve the truth. I lied that night not because I didn't trust you, but because I was ashamed of who I was becoming. The man you saw in my messages, I wasn't in love with him. I was addicted to the attention. The escape. The version of myself that didn't feel like she had to be perfect or strong or always okay. With you, I was everything I wanted to be. And that terrified me. I was afraid I wasn't enough anymore. Afraid that one day you'd realize you deserved better. So instead of asking for help, I destroyed what we had. I gave you a reason to leave, a coward's exit. You didn't yell. You didn't turn back. But I watched you walk away from the window. And I've regretted it every day since. I've tried 100 times to message you. But what do you say to someone whose heart you broke without intending to? I'm not asking for another chance. I just need you to know, you were never the problem. I was. And I'll carry that for the rest of my life. I hope you find peace. I hope you find someone who stays when things fall apart. And if you ever wonder whether I loved you, yes, I did. I still do. I just didn't know how to love you the right way. I sat on the floor for hours after reading it, not because I forgave her, but because I finally understood. Betrayal isn't always born from cruelty. Sometimes it grows from fear, from insecurity, from people quietly destroying themselves while pretending they're fine. The truth hurt more than the lie, because it confirmed that what we had was real. It just wasn't strong enough to survive the battle she was fighting within herself. I never replied. Not because I felt nothing, but because some letters are meant to close the door, not reopen it. Still, I carry it with me. Not as a wound, but as a reminder. Sometimes people leave not because they stop loving you, but because they forget how to love themselves. If you're holding on to pain caused by someone else's dishonesty, know this. You're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to never look back. And if closure arrives late, in a letter, a message, or a memory, let it reach you. Not to reopen what's ended, but to finally lay it down. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone healing quietly. Because sometimes walking away isn't the ending. It's where understanding finally begins. Please help me to reach 500 subscribers.